Hi guys, got something different this morning. A guy brought me a couple of speakers in and asked me if I could repair them. These are from a bar in one of the resorts here, Puerto Rico de Gran Canaria, and this bar, he's been shut since the lockdown in March 2019 for 19 months, and he wants to reopen end of this week. Hopefully to see if it's feasible and there's actually enough business, enough tourists around. So good luck with that one. And he said, can I fix in these two speakers? He's a bar that has basically live music, and these are off his sound system. I think he's been kind of like, fixing all the problems or trying to while they've been shut. So this is a horn speaker. As you can see, I've just unscrewed the back off. This is called a compression driver, yeah. And inside here there's a diaphragm that effectively makes the sound. And I'm assuming from what he tells me this is faulty. This is one thing I actually use my analog meter for, because it has like a bleeper, which I'm sure you can hear. But when you connect it to a speaker, it's loud enough you can actually hear the sound coming from the speaker itself. And this one isn't doing anything, yeah. So that isn't working. The other speaker, we'll just move that out of the way. The other speaker, it's quite obvious what's wrong with this one. So if we can look down inside here, yeah, these are your connections to the speaker coil, yeah, and one of the connections is broke off. Yeah, you can see there, it's burnt. It looks like, yeah, it looks like it's actually burnt out where it goes through the cone. So he asked me if I could have a look to see if I can fix these. So yeah, let's give it a go and see what we can do with them. I'll look at the little compression driver first. So this, you can see, is from a JBL. Yeah, this will be the part number, and it's not working. I'm not getting any sound out of it. So you can buy these, but they're quite expensive. I think they're over $100 to buy. I think there was compatible ones as well, not original ones. But inside here, this diaphragm, you can take this out of here, and you can actually buy diaphragms for these as well. And again, you can buy compatible ones and original ones. So let's take this apart. We'll remove these 4 bolts here. Let's have a look to see what's actually inside this. So the first thing I noticed with this, I have a small socket set, I actually have 2 of them, is that these bolts are not metric size. They don't fit any of the sockets that I have. There's some strange size, yeah, none of them actually fit. This one might, oh yeah. Okay, it does fit. This is, what size is this one? Strangely enough, this socket doesn't actually have a size mark on it. Okay, so we've got a socket that fits. Otherwise, I'd have to use a pair of pliers. So let's just off they come. Yeah, they're just coming loose. Okay, yeah, I've got them all. So we can take these out. Okay, this looks like it should probably come off. It's probably held together by the magnet. I'm thinking, yeah, strong magnet. So this is the diaphragm, this part in here. I'm guessing this comes off from the front part and just leaves the disc. Let's try a screwdriver or something like that. See if we can actually, yeah. Okay. So here we have the diaphragm. I'm assuming that effectively this is like a should be, conductive. Well, yeah. Oh, I think I can see what's wrong with this straight away. It looks like this is broken here. Yeah, see that there? Yeah, that end is kind of like stuck down to the terminal, and this end is like split. Yeah, it's just split there. I wonder if we can fix this. I don't know. I've never tried to fix one of these before. I can certainly see what the problem is. That this here is split. Yeah, it's split. Oh, it's come away. Looks like it's split. I'd be interested to see if we actually have like a connection here. I can see, yeah, I can see a wire coming down there. So we can on the other one, the other end of it. See if we can do anything. Because I mean, this thing we'd have to replace it anyway. So let's have a look. See if we can do anything with it. So yeah, this is like Captain tape by the looks of it. And I can see the wire coming down there from that one. Yeah, it's a bit odd probably because it's so reflective. You just see it, and I can see a wire coming down here as well, and it looks like this wire's just come off. Yeah, there's the wire. Oh yeah, that lifts up. It lifts up. It wasn't split. This lifts up. Okay. Get something underneath it. Right. Okay, so here I now have two wires, and I'm assuming that one of them isn't making a contact. That's my guess with this. So let's try with this analog meter again, see if we get some bleep out of it. I can hear that. Okay, so let's go from the end here. I have a connection there. No, I have a connection on both ends. I can hear it. But this is broken somehow. Let me get my normal meter as well. Just focus this up a little bit. Okay, so this is the fluke meter. Yeah. So we have a connection here, and we have a connection here, but somewhere the connection is broken. It looks a bit messy here actually. Yeah. Can I zoom this in any closer down? Yeah, I can see, looks like the wire here and the wire here, yeah. I'm not sure I can make any contact to those or not. So I hear the meter bleep. I think what I'll do with this is get it under the microscope and see. Yeah, this is like sticky or something here. Let's get it under the microscope. Let's see if we can do anything with this. Okay, yeah, I've got it under the microscope and you can see it quite clearly now. So this is the wire that comes in from the terminals at the end, yeah, the two terminals. And this seems to be like some sort of like gooey, gubby stuff, yeah. And that's the one wire, and here's the other one, and I think you can clearly see this one's broken, yeah, it's broken just here. This here, this is like a metal, I honestly don't know if it's plastic or metal, or metallized plastic, yeah. But I think what we can try with this, and there's no harm in trying, is to try and like lift this up a little bit, and solder it, and maybe get a little bit of Captain tape underneath it if we can solder it, yeah. So let's give that a go. Let's see if I can actually solder this wire back together. Yeah, this bit seems to be like stuck down to this, and this I think is metal. But what I've managed to do is to scrape away a little bit of the enamel coating on it, yeah. So I should be able to get some solder on that. Whether this thing will melt, I don't know. Now the trick is going to be to scrape a bit of the enamel off the other one, but underneath it I need to get the two clean surfaces to go together basically, yeah. So I mean, if I do this, I'm just taking it off the top, which isn't really going to help, yeah. I mean, it'll help me to conduct some heat into it, but it won't help in as much as soldering it. I think what I need to do with this one is lift it up if I can with the tweezers and see if it's possible to effectively get to the other side of it, yeah. Can we lift this up or not? Yeah, I've got it. It's now raised up. Yeah, so it's sort of sticking up in the air a little bit, if you can see it. It's whether I can now scrape off any of the enamel so I can actually solder it. Let's give it a go anyway. Okay, I mean the problem I'm having with this is this bit of wire here. And this is a bit of flux, by the way. Is that I can't effectively get much pressure on to scrape away the enamel without risking just breaking it off, yeah, a bit further back. But I've managed to bend it up away from the thing behind it, which I'm pretty sure is like aluminium foil, yeah. So let's give this a go. This is a smaller chisel shaped tip basically, yeah. Let's see if I can actually get some solder onto this wire or not. It all depends whether I've actually managed to scrape any of the enamel free. No, I'd say I've not. I need to be able to scrape the enamel off this before we can solder it. Let me have another go. Okay, what I'm going to try is to get this little tool underneath the wire, yeah, like so, and then try my Stanley knife and see if I can effectively scrape the enamel off. I think I have. Yeah, I think that's got it. I think that has got it. Let's see if we can get some solder onto it now. It's hard to tell. It's very hard to tell whether I've actually got solder on that or not. Okay, let's do the same again. Let's go at it the same way again. So this underneath it, and again we'll scrape away at it with the Stanley knife. I need to be careful, otherwise I'm just going to break this off, yeah. I'm going to snap it off there. Okay, let's go again. See if we can get it to accept some. I think it may have taken a bit already. Yeah, now it's definitely got some solder, right. See if we can get some solder on this one, which seems to be stuck to this aluminium behind it. Yeah, that's definitely got some. The question is now, can we solder it together? And if we can solder it together, will it stay? Yeah, will it keep on working? We need to bend this one inwards a little bit if I can. I'm not sure what it's stuck down with. Can't we bend this one inwards a bit from here? Well, I think we've got it. whether it'll work is another matter, and whether it'll keep on working is another matter again. Is that fixed? I don't know. Hard to tell. Let's see if it's working. That's it. Let's see if it's now actually producing any sound or it's got any resistance. Yeah. So let's get the multimeter, the normal one first. I could always put maybe a bit of epoxy or something on it. Yeah. It has a resistance of 4 ohms now. Let's try my analog meter. You may even see it move actually, because this should make a sound come through the speaker. You can't see it move. But the sound's definitely coming through the speaker. Okay, I've got that one. I'm going to put a little bit of epoxy resin on that, yeah, and then let's see if it's working, if it'll keep on working. It is working, will it keep on working? That's a good question. Okay, so I'll just have a bit of epoxy resin mixed up here. So let's put this onto where I just fixed that thing basically, yeah, which is there. That's it. And let's just sit that on top of there. That's the best I can do with that one. So now it's just a matter of waiting for that to set, put it together, see if it works, and then the customer's going to have to try this, you know, in a live environment basically. Or I can say, look, you know, that's a temporary fix and order him a replacement. It depends what he wants to do. But anyway, that's that one. Let's have a look at the other speaker and see what we can do with that one. Okay, just before I do that, actually, this is the one I've just fixed. So I've got the meter now on ohms range, and we can just see that, yeah, it's reading about 6 ohms, which is probably good. It's probably an 8 ohm speaker actually, AC, because the DC resistance always reads a bit lower, yeah. But anyway, that's looking promising, so we'll put that on one side. Let's have a look at this other one. So what we have here quite clearly is one of the wires that goes to the coil is broken off, yeah. It's here, yeah. So we need to get to the coil on this one to see if we can reattach this wire and if the coil itself is any good anyway, yeah. So the way to do this is basically we need to take out this part, yeah. So we need to cut all the way around this with a scalpel or Stanley knife and take this out, and then we should be able to get to the other end of the coil. So let's give that a go. I mean, once we've removed this and we can get access to the coil, and it's not making a scrunching noise when I push it, so I don't think the coil's burnt at least, otherwise it sort of go the noise as you do this, yeah. We can glue this back in again with some like silicone type DCVS, something a little bit flexible. So the first thing to do this is that you need to start off with a new knife, yeah, a new blade. So I've just put a brand new blade in the knife, and now I need to just get into here, yeah, and I'm trying to get into the edge where this bit joins this bit, okay, and stick the knife in, yeah, so it's in, and then slowly and gently, trying to stay as close as possible to the edge, yeah, is to cut this away. Okay, so we just go round this until we've cut it away. Okay, so I'm most way round now, yeah. A bit of magic there called the pause button, yeah. So you see I'm leaning the knife this way, so it's kind of like cutting inwards and just cutting a very small amount at a time, yeah. I don't want to go downwards because that's where the coil is. I don't want to damage the coil any more than it might already be damaged, yeah. So let's just finish off the last little bit. Okay, so we can take this out and we keep this safe, yeah. You can see the coils now actually down here in the middle. Often it's around the edge of this, yeah. The question is now, can I get to where the wire from here goes through to the other side? Yeah, and it's going to be somewhere on this top edge. If you look, you can see. Let me just stick it up. The wire goes down that way, yeah, down in there. Get the little torch, and you'll see this better, yeah. Okay, so the wire goes down there, yeah, and that where it goes through is on the rim of this normally. Let me just yeah, it is. I can kind of like slide my finger down. I can feel that where the wire goes through is on this rim. So what I need to do now is find the two wires coming through here. Okay, so if I connect the meter to, this is the tab with the intact wire, yeah, that's the one that's actually present, yeah, and I've got it on ohms range, and then you can see here there's like a, I don't know if you can see, like a, yeah, there, like a dark strip come up here. This is probably the connection. I can just get onto the top edge of it. Yeah, got it there, yeah. So that's one connection. Now we need to find the other one. There's another dark strip running up here, yeah. So this is probably the other one, okay. So we effectively have two of them. If I put it like this, yeah, you can sort of see what one's here, yeah, and the other one's there, yeah. So these are probably the two ends of the coil. If I scrape away a little bit at the top of that dark strip there, yeah. Okay, I can see a contact there now. I should be able to read it between these two now. The resistance of the coil about 6 ohms or something like that. Yeah. Let me try and go from the actual one end from the terminal that's actually connected, the wire that's connected. Yeah. So that comes to here, and there's the other end of it. Yeah. Looks like it. Strange that the meter's wandering around like that, but I'm sure that's it. I can do this with the analog meter, and I should hear the speaker make a sound, yeah, if I get the connection right. Let's try it with this one. So this is on the bleeper mode, yeah. You can hear that, yeah. So we go to the terminal that's there, to this one. Now can you hear it? What you're hearing there is the speaker, yeah? Much louder. Okay. So we found the two ends of the voice coil. This one is attached and this one isn't attached. So this is where we need to attach the wire that's broken, yeah? Easiest way to do that is to push a small hole through here and solder something to this so it's sticking through the other side, and then solder the wire onto it basically. But it might be that the wire itself is long enough to reach through. Yeah, I'd say it here. I'd say the wire might actually be long enough itself. Yeah. So just above this dark strip, I'm going to poke a little hole through, because we can seal this with a bit of epoxy resin or something later. Yeah. So it's here, and we're going to push a wire. Sorry, push a meter probe will do nicely. Yeah. There. So we've got a hole, okay, and this is where I'm going to bring my wire through from the other side, yeah. So that hole I've made there, I'm actually going to bring the other wire through here. Okay, and the wire isn't long enough. There's not enough of the wire to do it, yeah. So let me try and shine the torch in and you can possibly see, yeah. So balance this so you can look as well. It's very awkward. So the hole was there, yeah. I pushed through there, and this wire isn't long enough to go through the hole. Yeah, it's too short. So what we can do is we can solder like a bit of stiff wire on here. Yeah, push it through, a little bit of glue to hold it in place, and then we can solder the other wire onto that. And because the other wire is flexible, it shouldn't have any effect on the actual movement of the cone. Yeah, so let's see if we can do that. Okay, so I've taken a resistor, 22 ohm. I have a box full of these. I use them all the time as stiff bits of wire. Yeah, and I've basically bent the leg into one side, scraped this aluminium, sorry, this like dark copper strip coming up here. Yeah, you see it there again. If I just show you, there's like a darker bit. Scrape the back of that. Yeah, and I've bent the end of the leg at right angles. Yeah, and soldered it. So what we can do now is if we just check from the good terminal on the speaker, I have to go underneath it to the other end of my bit of wire. Yeah, and the speaker's making a nice sound. So once again, I'll take epoxy resin and set this into here. Yeah, and once it's set, we'll chop off the resistor so we have just a stiff wire, and we'll solder the braid wire, the flexible one, to that. Yeah, so once again, a bit of epoxy resin on this. So the resin I'm using is this one. Yeah, super tight. Araldite in the UK. I'm not sure. I'm guessing there's different brands of this in different parts of the world, basically. But I think it's all pretty much the same stuff. So we'll take some of this now on the end of a little tool, yeah, and I'll effectively just set it around this so that it's glued in place as well as being soldered. Yeah, try not to get too much of it. Just take your time with this, you know, a little bit more. There, that's over it now. Yeah. And basically then we just leave this till tomorrow now, so I'm going to leave both speakers until tomorrow, let them set a little bit more. Okay. What we will do with this one, by the way, when you're doing this sort of work, don't get anything down this gap here. Yeah, if you do, it's knackered. I mean, I'd put this back on just for now, just to stop any stray, even dust, yeah, going down there. Okay, so we can leave that now till tomorrow, and hopefully then we'll have two working speakers. Okay, so I'll let the glue set overnight. I've put this one back together now. So we take this analog meter. This makes a bleeping noise. Yeah, it's not very loud, but it makes a bleeping noise. And if we connect it to the speaker, yeah, you'll hear it much louder. And it sounds nice and clear, so I'm confident I can give this one back to the customer and he can try it. Yeah. So that one, we can say that's fixed. The other one, let me just put this on one side. So the other one, you can see down here, if I just zoom in on it one moment. This is where I've glued the end of the resistor, the leg of the resistor. You just see it there, yeah. So that's nice and hard now, and all the glue is on this side, yeah, nothing on the inside of the coil, yeah. You want to make sure you don't get any glue going down there, otherwise that's dead, yeah. So if we can look, I don't know if you can see it on which camera, yeah, you might see it on this one. You can possibly see it, but you get the angle. No, it's difficult to look down here, but the can I even get this way you can even see it? Yeah, right, let me get the torch so you can see what we have. So down in there, I get a bit of light on it. So there's my resistor that's sticking out from the speaker. I put a little bit of glue on the hole where it goes through as well, yeah. So I'm going to cut the body of that resistor off now and solder the wire, the one that was broken, which is up here somewhere, yeah. So you can probably just see it there, tucked up there, yeah. That wire. I'm going to solder that to the stiff wire of the resistor, but without the resistor. Okay, so let's just do that. Okay, I've soldered that. I think if I use this camera, yeah, you can see. So I've soldered the wire onto the stiff leg there, yeah. I've got a good amount of solder on because a lot of current flows through this. If you look just below that, you can probably just see under the glare there of the light. That's the other end of the original wire coming through where it had broke off, basically, yeah. Just underneath the one I've repaired. Okay, so that's basically done. I think now we just need to try this one, yeah. So again, you may hear the quiet bleep of that. We connect this to the speaker, and much louder. And again, it sounds clear. There's no scratching sound, yeah, anything like that. It's a good clear sound. So that one's also working. All that remains to do now is to glue this back in place. I find generally you can kind of like rotate it into the position, so when you cut it you'll probably find that like some sides are a bit flatter. Let me just zoom that with the camera out a little bit. Yeah, there you go. So when you cut this, it will have been uneven, so it might have like some slightly flat edges on it, and you can usually find that by kind of like rotating it, you'll find the position that it came out from, yeah. And then that's where effectively you're going to glue this back in. It looks like it came from here pretty much, yeah. You can use various adhesives for this. You can use like a silicone type of adhesive from like one of the big like glue guns, you know. Or you can use something like Yoo-hoo glue, like an impact adhesive. That'll do pretty well as well, and that's probably what I'll use on this one. Okay, so I'm using this stuff, yeah. In England, we had Yoo-hoo glue, UHU, Yoo-hoo, yeah, and that's a very similar thing to this. It's a contact adhesive, yeah, and you can just kind of like run some of this around here. It's probably a good idea, I find, to like kind of like do this twice, yeah. So apply the adhesive around, and then let it set, and then just come back and go again, yeah, with a bit more of it. Build up a couple of layers. Because obviously this thing vibrates a lot. I mean, it's a speaker, yeah, that's what it's kind of meant to do, yeah. So you want to make sure this is, you know, fixed. Okay, so I've gone around there once. I'll give this like about 10 minutes, yeah, and then I'll come around again. Okay. Okay, so I've given that one lot of glue and it's stuck pretty well, but I will just go around again and put a second one and let that set, and then we can say this one's fixed, yeah, and it can go back to the customer. I mean, if you do a similar repair to this, bear in mind if you put a bit of wire like I put it has to be a very stiff bit of wire, quite a thick gauge, because there's a lot of current that flows into these bass speakers, much more than there is in those tweeter horns, yeah. So it needs to be able to handle that, otherwise it'll just burn like a fuse. It'll just go, yeah, just like a fuse. Okay, so there we go with a second go around with the glue. Let's just let that set and then we'll test this one. So this is glued in now quite firmly, yeah, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. It's got a couple layers of glue on that. So again, we can take the this analog meter, yeah, and so if I actually put the two leads together on the bleeper range, it's making a bleep, and we can now just go across the two terminals, yeah, and you should hear this, yeah, nice and clear again. So that one's also working. So we've got to two good speakers there. I'll probably charge the guy like €45 for that, and just point out that if you know, he's got to try them under load now. If they fail, then or one or the other, I'll then order him a replacement, and I'll knock off the what I charged him for each one, like €22 on each one. Yeah. So I'll be fair with the guy. It's working. I can't guarantee absolutely it'll keep on working, but I think there's a good chance. I think this one more likely than the tweeter, because I actually got a good stiff piece of wire soldered directly onto the terminal inside here, whereas the tweeter, it was a thinner wire. I know there's a lot less current, but I couldn't get them quite lined up, and I've just got a bit of solder holding them together, and I'm relying really on the epoxy resin to keep that connected properly. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that one. Give you some idea of what can be done, and I'll see you all soon on another video. Ciao for now, guys.